Welcome to 154. In this episode, we discuss my recent trip back home to Nigeria. The energy is unmatched, but this trip was deeply personal. I brought my wife and 4 kids to touch the ground that shaped our family story. From the history of Ogun State to the streets of Lagos, I wanted them to live every single side of our heritage. This is our journey.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154, we bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like
9 days in Nigeria.
9 days.
9 days.
That's kind of quick. Was it a lot to pack into one?
It was.
Right.
It was a lot to pack into one trip, but I didn't know when or how. It was such a last minute thing. So let me go back to the beginning.
Okay.
It was.
First of all, how much did it cost?
You really want to know?
I mean,
over $100,000.
you out your damn mind.
No, I'm not.
Whew.
So this was the trip of a lifetime for me.
Right.
And it all kind of started when I was in Hawaii for my daughter's volleyball tournament.
Okay.
And it was always this passion that I had that I wanted to take my kids to Nigeria because you have that last name.
Yeah.
People are going to see that last name and go, where are you from? And I'm like, dang, she's 17 years old. Like, I hadn't taken, because you just think, oh, I'll take them when they're young. Well, then you realize, like, they're not young anymore. And I had almost a little bit of a panic attack. Mm-hmm. And I called my wife and I say, babe, we need to get the kids. We got to go to Nigeria now because you're trying to think, oh, they got their sports schedule, their school schedule. Yeah. They got this and that.
Yeah.
And then there's just never a right time to go. And so I literally just said,
right time is when you do it.
When you do it.
Yep.
That's it right there. So I took them out of sports. I took them out of school and I just said, we're going right now.
Yeah.
Because I just realized that the moment was only, and I can see how people can, be for so long, and get away from, from their roots.
Yeah.
And for me, it'd been 20 years since I had been back to Nigeria and it didn't feel like that. In my mind, it wasn't that long ago.
Right.
But it was almost to the time. Like I was there in March of 2006. I returned in April of 2026. And for my kids, and my wife, this was monumental. My wife taking the last name, now getting to know where all of this started.
Your wife's name?
Crystal.
Crystal.
Baja
Jenkins.
But it was cool. So this is the first time my kids had ever flown first class.
Oh, and look at you, man.
Yeah,
all right.
Well, this was.
You didn't do no coach like,
yeah, you know
you are
what?
75E. You 35B. We don't need to be together.
I'm gonna tell you why I decided to do first class for my family. Not because, I wanted them to be in the luxury, but what I wanted to do was set the tempo and the pace for how they were going to enjoy Nigeria. Yeah. Because I realized my kids, growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, that there are all these things that I hear, the little jokes from their friends and people and whatever. And really too, the way the rest of the, America kind of portrays Africa.
Yeah, man.
And I wanted them to see it for its potential, for its reality, and, and for all of its beauty and its wealth. Yeah. So there's just a mixed bag of things that they were going to experience. And so we set out, we had, my uncle who traveled with me, he's a good family friend, and he came with us as we went on this journey. He set everything up for us. And the first thing that blew my mind was, I was expecting the Murtala Muhammed experience where it was going to be, oh boy, it's going to be, I was like, oh boy, my kids.
How was first, not to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
How was when you landed in the airport, how organized was it? Because your kids are used to going to regular airport.
Right.
Oh, there's my bag. There's my this. This time it's like, hey, where's my luggage?
You know what?
Did you get that? Or was it like bang, bang, bang,
no,
you had a hookup?
My hookup, my uncle had somebody there to set up logistics.
Okay.
So, you get a logistics person, and that logistic person grabs your bag.
Yes.
They make sure everything, so you're moving smoothly. So we had zero issues at the airport.
An escort?
We had an escort, but then my wife at the last minute,
Oh no.
like we all came in. So, because my father and my mother were born in Nigeria.
Yes.
I have the ability to be a dual citizen, but that then is extended onto my kids.
Is that automatic dual citizenship?
Yeah. So I have.
So if your parents, you did you have to register to?
Yeah, just got my passport. Got my
Did you go to the embassy or whatever?
They came to me. The embassy came to me here in California, and so all of my kids got registered. So we all entered in with Nigerian passports, and my wife had to come in with her American passport. You have to have all of these visas and this and that and that. And at one moment, we're like, "Oh, okay, we're good," and they're like, "Come with us."
Oh no.
I was like, "Oh no, but that's there was nothing I could do, but it was all good." They was like, "Hey, you got to go through and file this and do this." So they got her stuff and they go, "Do you know your last name? Do you know this last name?" And they were shocked because they were looking at my wife is, she's light skinned, right? So they was looking like, Bajabiam. Like, you are a Bajabiam,
right.
And so they were telling her the stories and she was just like, wait,
they know
what?
about your family.
They know about the family. But once we got out, it was great. But then I was surprised. We landed on the tarmac and there was half the airport looked like it had been hit by a bomb because they're going through construction.
Oh, yeah.
And this Murtala Muhammed Airport, forever people have been saying, you tell the story of it should be on the other side.
Man.
They have one side already built up. And let me tell you something. It is beautiful. It is like going to any other international airport. And so now they're working on the other side. So kudos to the Nigerian government for really taking, because that's how you first introduced into Lagos. You know what I mean? Like you go through that airport.
Yeah, I went in the 80s. So I was like, like you said, there was a big span of time when you went to Nigeria. I was in my 13 or 12. And then I went a year and a half ago again. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a big gap. But I understand the big gap because Nigeria you can't just go to Africa.
Right.
You got to plan it out.
Right.
And it's not cheap either.
It's not.
And I'm glad when I went, cause at this level to be known everywhere is insane. Cause when I was there, I was just there as a kid. I'm just my parents and all my relatives and no one knows me. I'm just a kid, Nigerian American. And then I stayed at my famous uncle's place, Sonny Okosun's place. So it was dope. It says it's cow pound. And they were like, "You're staying with Sonny Okosun. That's your, hey." Yeah. It was like, so I had a jump where we're with my Uncle Sonny and then to come to Nigeria a year and a half ago and everybody knows you from social media and comedy and it was insanity.
I had that same experience and this one was the wildest. I've traveled to 41 countries. I've been all over and I've never had anybody recognize me from the work that I do because everything I'm doing is here nationally,
no doubt.
States. So you don't expect anything.
Nah.
I get to Nigeria, as God is my witness, every place we went, 154. I'm like, wait a second. And my kids go looking like, they know you here?
Yeah.
Like, I was blown away about the amount of attention we got from Ogun State to Lagos to Abuja, where people go, "Hey man, big fan of the podcast." And that was like, to me, you think that when you're doing something, because we're filming this here in Los Angeles, you think that just the people in the U.S. are paying attention, but everybody, and around the world are paying attention. And that, to me, it gave me a certain sense of pride of what we're all building here and being able to have the conversation that, most people would love to have and to have that discussion about the experience. So that was cool for my kids to see that, they, with their friends, it's like, "Oh, your dad's the American Ninja Warrior." And in Nigeria, it's like, that's the guy from 155.
That's dope. That's a whole nother level. To be known in Nigeria, you go, because I used to go, how in the hell, even in between before I went a year and a half ago, I was like, how the hell am I going to even connect to that?
Yeah.
Because my father would say, make sure you connect to your people. Because my father tried to build a house there, but then it was some mismanagement went down. And it was like, because he would show us the development and then some people did on some whack shit to my dad. And it was like, and I was like, what I do, they go, "Have you ever done comedy in Nigeria?" I go, "Nah." And then when Basket Mouth and all these cats started coming up, and I go, how in the hell am I going to I know Nigeria, but how am I going to go over there? And that system is so crazy. Like, how am I going to get known? How? I just didn't even think about it. And then social media, bro. I said, and then I see police. Hey, I see your company. Hey, we are so proud of you. I was like, yes.
The pride. It
felt like I'm a night. I'm like, yes, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times, let's keep it 100. We feel like we're a little left out because Nigerians, I feel like I'm afraid to say I'm Nigerian because you're not really
But I would tell you, I think that has changed.
Yeah.
Because the experience that we've had growing up here in the States, like there was, the look. I can honestly say the entire time I was there, I felt like I was welcomed. Like I wasn't teased about my American accent, my American swag.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you are one of us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I think the most powerful revelation to me was to see my little son, 14 years old, and he was like, Dad, everybody's so family oriented because I'm experiencing it from multiple lenses and seeing like, my son Nasir go, wow, everything's just so family oriented. Even in the marketplace, when we're in the marketplace, here I am trying to show them how to kind of, do the whole back and forth. Bartering negotiation. And I said, watch this. And I'm going in there. It's a sport, right?
Of course.
It's a sport.
Did you go into the market?
I did. We went into the market. Yeah, we went into the marketplace. But the way they all collaborated, which is a lot different here because you can have stores, storefront, and every single individual is running their own business. Like, hey, I'm all about my own business.
Yeah.
But there's come to the doctor, give me this. So they're all working together, even though they have their own individual markets.
No doubt.
It was kind of beautiful. And I missed that.
Yeah.
But it took me listening and hearing how my son saw how everybody was collaborating together and working together. Yeah. And that's the beauty, I think, of Nigeria. I think it's the beautiful part of the people. You know what I mean?
And you go and you look at in the market. When I went to the marketplace with my cousin, I have footage on that too. Yeah. It was like, okay, because I remember being in the market with my mother when I was smaller, and my mother would negotiate.
Yes.
They'd be like, that would be 20 naira. She'd be like, please, I'm not naira. For 5 naira, I'm leaving. And they'd be like, okay, fine. Yes, my dad. I'm like, my mother knew how, and my mother grew up in that. Yeah. And just to be in there, in the village, in the market, they knew they were like, oh, so they came towards, and so I was recording. Everybody's like, where are you from? We are from Ogun State. I'm from Ogun State. Where are you from? Yeah. New York City. Okay. And I'd be like, my uncle is Sonny Okoza. Oh, hey. And they're just in the camera like, I'm from this state. I'm from this state. We are Nigerian. It was awesome.
It was.
But it was awesome. And it's like, man, it's like I finally felt complete, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's the shift and the embracing because I think, knowing the history, knowing how much of us, how many of Nigerians have gone to the United States to seek out better lives and understanding that like, hey, if you're raising your kids in America, the influence is going to be very American. And I think the younger generation, because it skews so much younger now, the youth, it really is the biggest population in Nigeria. Yeah. And so you don't get that same type of feel, that same type of energy. It is just like, hey, I'm here. Everybody's embracing you. What do you want? There's still the hustle, the grind. And that part I love. I love to see the grind.
And Black American culture is so huge now there with the reality shows. Look at the improvement of Nollywood. The movies are better, but there's like a lot of like Black American adopted shows, like these reality shows, these dating shows. Yeah. And it's there in Nigeria. And I like that. I like this hip hop. Even with Afrobeat being worldwide, there's a hipness to the Nigerian, because I'm like more old school Nigerian where they were like, well, what is that? You know, what is this? It's no more of that. People know all the hip hop artists. They got hip hop artists.
So there's the good part of that.
Good part of that.
And then there's a part and a perspective from my wife that kind of threw me off. So I was talking to her and I said, hey, so what'd you like about the trip? What didn't you like about the trip? One of the things that my wife didn't like about the trip, she says, I was really looking forward to, and I take some of the blame, is I was really looking for more traditional Nigerian food because she felt like not every place, but a lot of the places that we went to had a Western twist to it. Everybody's trying to Americanize and
really
trying to make it, yeah. So it's just like, no, because we have aunts and uncles here, family friends who make authentic Nigerian food. My wife loves Nigerian food. Yeah. And so where's
the I want the dude to cut the goat's head like, oh, welcome.
No,
this is the real deal.
No, she can't handle that.
This is what we are going. You want the real, you have to cut the chicken, grab the chicken.
She can't.
We will not do it for you. Yeah.
She can't handle that. But she had suya.
Suya. Oh.
She had suya, so she loved that. We had that in Abuja. She tore that up. I was the only one that couldn't handle. I was sweating like crazy.
It was so hot. It's really spicy.
And what was the other one? The dry meat, kilishi.
Kilishi. Okay.
Yeah, kilishi. So I was like, what is this kilishi? I'd never had kilishi before.
Okay, I don't think
it's very popular up north.
Up north, right.
And so we had some people bring us over like fresh kilishi. I mean, I'm talking about hot. Oof. Man, you'd have thought it was raining in the hotel room. Yeah, I'm just like sweating this. Like it was all over. But it was crazy because it was so hot. It was calling my name. It was like, come on, give me more. Give me more. Give me more. I was taking it. And I thought the kids were going to like, yeah, Dad.
It was nothing to them.
Nothing to them.
Damn.
I said, you guys.
You looking like an Eminem.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. I'm first gen. Y'all second gen.
And
how y'all can handle the
nothing? What you talking about? Beat it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So did they feel comfortable? Were they like, this is awesome? Or were they like, oh, that was this?
It was, yeah. So
that's interesting.
It's a good question. I think it was a mixed bag because I try to cram a lot into 9 days because I wanted them to see so much. Yeah. And because, certain places you just couldn't go walk around the corner here and walk around the corner here. So we had to drive every place. But the biggest issue was the traffic in Lagos. There's so many people, 20 million people. 20 plus million people in Lagos. So being able to navigate.
So hard.
Oh man, I messed up and I'll admit that I didn't know, but putting 5 things on to do in one day.
It's almost impossible.
It's almost impossible.
When I was there in December, a year and a half ago, December, just to go to a party, the traffic was so bad in one night that they sent everybody home. Everyone go home because everyone was stuck. We couldn't get to anywhere.
We went to go see my dad's brother in one place, down in Lagos. Yeah. And literally we couldn't go forward. We couldn't go back. We couldn't reverse. Nothing. We were just kind of stuck, and then it was just hot. And
there's these dudes in the streets though.
Right.
They go, hey, you want to make U-turn? You want to make U-turn? Come on, big man, give me the naira. And we were like
moving cars out the way.
Yo, you just pay some dude with a stick with sandals on. He's like, you want to make a U-turn? Yes. Naira. Boom. This all of a sudden, move. Get out the move. Move. Get out of the way. They try to move. Yo, and you make a big yo, the innovation of Nigerians. Yo, let me tell you something.
Okay.
I have an uncle that is an architect, my Uncle Uzo, and he lives in Lekki.
Okay.
He's an architect in Nigeria. And man, there's some of my other relatives building houses, right? There's like really dope marble house. Yeah. I went to some of the construction sites, and these dudes are in sandals, building houses, stacking bricks on their head. Like with they have a cloth and they're just walking.
Yeah.
We have construction boots in America, hard hats. They have, I can't make this up, sandals.
I believe you.
Sandals and just with bricks on their head.
It feels very informal.
It's unreal.
It
feels strength.
No, here's one that got me.
My man,
Here's
I
one
was
that got
like,
me, bro.
we got the nerve to have like, hey, construction work. This guy's like, hello, sir. How are you? Stacking bricks to go put the brick.
The scaffolding though was the dopest one to me because I saw scaffolding. Bamboo.
It's so.
Because I saw the bamboo. I was like,
it's stronger than it. What?
I said bamboo
scaffolding.
I said, that's dope, man.
Ain't no way with no Africans.
I said,
bamboo.
Whenever you start to get any type of construction work here, you know, okay.
We're still, metal poles.
And they charge you $2,000. I was like, man, I could just go cut the bamboo from my backyard.
Bamboo is powerful.
And
it
do
bends. Remember, it bends.
Right.
It was bamboo, and they were wearing flip-flops, building houses. And they're ripped. These guys are ripped.
That's my daughter said, Dad,
they were ripped.
My daughter said, Dad, why is everybody so muscular?
I said, do you see the bricks on his head? And that's why you never see an African with bad posture.
Oh,
because they're always carrying things on their head. Well, that's where modeling agencies took that from Africans, because they would, in etiquette school, they would put a book on their head to make them walk straight. That comes from Africa. Oh, that's because my mother would carry stuff on her head, but none of my relatives have. There's never anybody. Africans are never hunched over because they'll carry things.
They
on their head.
soon will be though.
Why?
Because of the damn phones. Them phones.
Oh, that's true.
The phones are everywhere.
Soon they're gonna have it on their head some kind of way.
I was surprised. It was just like, you think that it's just, it's taking over everybody. Like everybody, everybody's just kind of hunched over.
Yeah.
In this thing, like you're killing time, and you're like. You're just sitting on your phone. But that's the same thing we face here in the United States.
Nothing you can do about that. It is.
You can't. It's technology.
There was a time where the payphone was the most important thing. Like, oh shit, right? And that's gone.
Yeah.
Like, but the beautiful thing is that, I want them to be on that cell phone because my video might pop the hell up. You know what I'm saying? And I connected with the biggest comedian in Nigeria, Basket Mouth. He's like a legend, and I know him from social media. Like, that's where it's like what my father always wanted. Connect with your people. You have to connect. I'm connected. That's my man.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. I did want to make that connection. That was probably the most important part of the trip for me, outside of making sure that my kids, step foot in Africa or in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And to be where it kind of started for my father. But I took them back to where my father grew up in Abuja Meta in Lagos. And they had a chance to sit in the same house that, my father grew up in.
That's crazy.
I remember back 20 years before when I got a chance to see my father and his house, and where I'm like, oh man, and it just all started coming to me like, oh my goodness, like, this is why my dad acts like this, and this is why my dad said this. And so to be able to see my uncle there, I hadn't seen him since then, but we talk on the phone, but see Uncle Ramon, see Uncle Mufutao, see, his daughters, my nieces, and, to just see that the family was there and we're all sitting there and they're seeing old pictures of what my grandmother had of, my brother and sister Kabir and my sister Kabrat, to see the pictures there, to see kind of where the Baja Biamila name started and to see our great great grandfather's picture. And so we're just sitting there.
A lot of information.
A lot of information. It was the legacy, and, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I was overwhelmed with,
pride,
happiness, but also too, a little bit of, I guess some people would call it survivor guilt, in that, my father was able to, to come to America, set up a better life, and to be able to provide for his kids, and his kids will go on to do well. And then, there's a certain sense of responsibility that I felt like I have to be able to make sure not only just, the ones carrying the Baja Biamila name, but also to, to the, the larger population of Nigeria that, whereas you can see really, wealthy people, you can also see abject poverty.
Man.
You can see, you see that, and it was going, wow. I remember just going, and I was driving to the hotel, and I was just overwhelmed with tears, and not because I felt sorry or anything like that, because, the Baja Biamilas are resilient people, but it's just going, wow, like I can do more. I should do more, right? And and I'm not one to talk about the things that I do, just because that's not who I am. But I'm like, I just felt this need that I need to do more, right?
And how can you?
And how can you?
How do you do it?
My wife, I was surprised because this is my wife's first time meeting my dad's brothers, and her having the same walking away with the same feelings I had.
Really?
Yeah, like mine led me to tears. Hers led her to me us having a conversation like, what can we do? How can we do? Like, let's start putting things together to be able to help move things forward for our loved ones in Nigeria, you know? And, so I was really, really taken aback by that because, you know, for, you know, my wife who's only known America, you know, and has never been to Africa, for her to be able to have that same love and
was she happy to be there?
You know what she was? She was.
Yeah, I was wondering.
My wife, look, I'm gonna keep it.
That's her first time in Africa.
That was her first time in Africa, and she said she was, oh, what was the word? Like her body was confused because it was hot, and she was like uncomfortable in the heat. And then we would go into the hotel, and it'd be freezing cold.
Right.
And then it's like it's too cold, and then you go
Welcome
back
to Texas.
So she was like she didn't know where to regulate her body.
Yeah.
And so that was funny listening to her talk about that, because I remember my grandmother we went in March of 2006, and I believe my grandmother passed maybe 3, 4, 5 months later. But I remember we brought her to the Echo Hotel, which is the big hotel there. And she was like, I can't be here anymore. I take me back. And where she was is where my father grew up. Like, it was just hot, like hot.
She's like,
I'm like, but we in the AC. Like, so you just get like, no. And then talking to other folks,
I
like,
want a
what
fan.
my wife was saying, was just like, no, I can't be going from the drastic heat to the drastic cold. It's just like, just
give me one of them fans,
and I'm good.
I can put right on my head. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was cool to be there. And my uncle Ramon, told me a beautiful story. And there was this bed. So he's like, oh yeah, he started to tell me stories that I didn't hear the first time around. And because that was my first time, so I was just taking in so much. And he showed me a bed frame. This is the room that my grandmother lived in. And he said, you see this bed frame? Your father, when he went to Kanu and, he was doing well and whatever, he went up north, he came back and he bought this bed frame for our mom, for his mom, my grandmother. And that bed frame is still there. Like, this was in the 70s. But what it was a symbol of was that, my father wanted to do better for his mom, because he told me, he's like, your father would sleep here, and this is a very small place. Yeah. Even my daughter, when we got back, she was like, just reflecting on it. It was like, wow, like, our living room is bigger than the place. And so I was like, yes, I mean, it just shows you kind of where we started and where my father started. And so he was showing me, Uncle Ramon was showing me the place where, your father slept here, mom slept there. And I was like, oh wow, it was that natural love that that a child has to want to do better, and help their parents out. And it made me think of my brother. He was kind of the first of the pack, making it into the NFL and, doing well in his career and wanting to be able to help out, but I was like, I never saw my dad like that, but, there was a parallel between my brother Kabir and my dad, in that, being able to figure out a way to kind of break from kind of what was and create what is, and then be able to turn around and give back and to be able to help out, or at least to try and implement something to move things forward. So that part was cool. And we kind of walked out of that situation. I'm going, man, like my kids saw it. They can say, I've been to grandpa's birth house,
That's like a humbling.
It is.
And grounding for them,
right?
Kids. Do they want to go back?
You know what? I don't know if they want to go back, because it was a lot, but I told them they will go back.
Right.
I told them that they will go back, but the next time it won't be the pressure of,
it will just be chilling. We'll just chill. Have a good time.
For 9 days, it's extremely difficult to do.
Well, it's the first time they did that. When I first, my parents packed in we go here, we'll go to the who else? And then, we had to eat at everybody's house. And one time I refused. I was so full. I was like this, man. Like, and I remember my uncle was like, do you want something to eat? I was like, no. And my father said, come. You don't refuse. Just take something and just pretend you are eating. You can't. It's like disrespectful to us, because when I said no, my uncle said, you have to eat something. It's like
you're right.
It's traditionally you have to accept. It's in Italian families. You don't eat? They'd be like, what? Mangia. What no, you got to take something, even if you don't eat the whole thing.
Right.
I didn't know, because America is like this. No, I'm full.
Yeah.
No more sausages, Mom. No, but it's, so I learned, they packed a lot.
Yeah.
See my grandparents before they died, go to the village. When I went to the village, my father, I was like, man, we lucky as hell.
It gives you perspective.
What?
It gives you the perspective
Yes.
to realize, that's why I stopped saying I grew up poor. I used to say all the time, I grew up
Man.
poor. And my dad had a different, he's like, you don't know nothing, and I stopped
rich.
saying that, right? Poor rich.
Poor rich.
I was like, whoa, no. We I should say we were well off. That's what I was like. I grew up well off, right? And but I get where my father was coming from.
Yeah.
My kids, I think they were probably a little irritated with me because I was the water watchdog. I mean, I was like, I am not messing up this trip to, for these kids, because you guys don't understand. They just, Dad, it's fine. They just think Dad doesn't know what he's talking about. I say, guys, you don't understand. Like, the water system here isn't the same in the States. Where you can go to the tap water, you can go drink out of a fountain. So I remember my daughter got mad at me because she was like, yes, can I get an ice matcha tea? And I'm saying, that has ice in it. Remember, you can get it cold, but we're not doing the ice because that ice thing, I'm telling you, is going to mess you up. And I don't want it anymore. I'm fine. I don't want anything. I'm like, no, I have to. So every time we were out to dinner or out somewhere, I'm like, did that bottle crack? And if it didn't crack, get another one. Where did that, is that got ice in it? So I was just constant, but guess what? We made it out the trip. We made it out of
Nobody had stomach.
Nobody had stomach issue because the water system, which is to me like something that needs to be fixed. It's not just for foreigners, but the locals as well. Like the locals, like that water can be typhoid because it's got E. coli. You talk about the oil spills, and a lot of this is not just infrastructural issues in Nigeria. This has a lot to do with some of the stuff that's going on with the oil companies and polluting the system and breaking it down. So it's a lot of stuff that just makes the water system bad and is not.
No nightlife. You didn't do anything at night, did you?
No. We didn't do that because my wife and.
No, I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
I know the nightlife. I went to parties and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Woo! They know how to party.
They could turn up.
Oh, they turned up. And it's like, when you travel around to these clubs, I was going with this one dude. His name is White Money. Mm-hmm. He's a reality star. He calls it White Money. He's a reality star. So I was rolling with him, and, it was like these parties, the place, you'd be like, where are we going? And they look all kind of like, this looks a little whack. And you walk in and it's magnificent. That's a lot of these places where they purposely leave the outside a little raggedy. And then when you walk in, you're like, this is banging. Nigeria, the nightlife?
No, bro.
Is phenomenal.
We went to one spot because I wanted my wife, because we didn't want to leave the kids behind.
Yeah.
So we went to this spot before the club scene popped off.
Yeah.
And I got to go through my phone and look. But this place, beautiful.
Yeah.
Outside, inside,
the
whole nine. You walked into this thing, and so it's a restaurant that then turns into a nightclub.
Oh, yeah,
and they go all the way to like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
5, 6,
they just keep going
and go to another club after that.
Bro, this place was beautiful. I got to find the name of this thing, but it's got like the green velvet walls and I mean, I'm like, yo, man, like this is
and we're so surprised because
it's not
there's such a bad reputation. They just show all the bad parts.
The reputation. Because you remember when we had Boz here?
Yeah.
This is like Africa, Nigeria, all of the countries, they need a brand new marketing plan. Because even for me, for someone who grew up in a Nigerian household, I didn't grow up in Nigeria, but yet you still get surprised by certain things. This place was beautiful, but they'll never show you that. And this is why
they want to keep Africa.
And this is why, some people, like even I have family members like, oh, you're not giving your kids the authentic experience. I was like, they'll get the authentic experience, and they got little bits of it, but I wanted to do like a sample plate. I wanted to show them where my father grew up. I wanted to show them the stuff that is real. Like, you can see like the gutter systems, and you can see there's trash everywhere. Like, I didn't hide that from them, but then I wanted to take them over to, to go see, like the nice spots, right? With the Banana Island, Lekki, Echo Atlantic. Like, I took them to all these different
Were you in cabs? Were you in
No, we had car service.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we had a car service.
You have somebody that came, got you.
Came and so we were going
that was
in and
perfect.
out. I took them to, and which I didn't know that we were going to do a museum, and then I was reading their body language. I'm going, they may not want the historical museum. We went to the art gallery. We went to Nikkei art gallery. So we're inside of the very famous Nikkei gallery. Some of the most famous artists throughout Africa, throughout the world. You see some of the art here, and we're probably going to end up grabbing a piece because it's so much. It's a little overwhelming, but a good overwhelming when you get to see just the different art that kind of represents the culture from so many different amazing artists. We like this piece over here. We've seen a couple other pieces. There's a piece over here that's made with all beads. It took like, I forgot how many years to make it, but pretty cool. You get to see the bridges that connects the mainland to the island. It's just a lot here, to be honest with you. And let me tell you, what was supposed to just be, hey, we're just gonna look around for 30 minutes. We were in there for
Let me buy that.
4 hours. Woo! Bro, and my wife found a painting that was absolutely, Nelson Okol is the artist, and she's like, I want this one. Now, I paid a pretty penny.
Wait, like even if you convert it to American dollars?
Oh.
Really?
Oh. I was like, oh yeah, babe.
7 billion naira.
I was like, because we had our walls kind of look like this at home. And so we've got the wainscoting or whatever. And
how big is it? Is it gigantic or is it? Did you bring it with you?
It's 8 feet by 59 inches.
They sent it to you.
Yeah, they sent it to me. Oh yeah, okay. It arrived. It's currently getting framed right now. But when I say this is a beautiful, beautiful artwork, and I'm going, wow. So it was cool that I can now say, I've always wanted that kind of like, when you walk into a house.
That's his Picasso.
No, to hell with Picasso. This is Nelson Okol. And you see this painting. My wife and I, we traveled to Nigeria. And we were at Nikkei Art Gallery.
No way.
Yeah. In fact, we met Nikkei.
I heard the Bencotes were bidding on it.
Yes, but we outdid them. Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I said, Dan, you guys got payment plans? What is payment plan?
Your plan is to pay now. That's your plan.
I said,
that's the plan.
No, it was cool. We ended up getting that one, and we ended up getting another one as well.
That's dope.
We'll have 2 beautiful. I don't know how I got to call Jay-Z and figure out how do you protect. They didn't talk about artwork and stuff like. I don't know how to protect artwork and stuff like that.
I mean, you got to call Sotheby's or something.
Oh,
Sotheby's. Sotheby's is Sotheby. They sell all it's art. This is where they bid on all the upper echelon. Maybe.
Let me tell you
Sotheby's
something. The art game in Nigeria is cold-blooded. It is so fantastic.
Yeah.
You walk into this art gallery, and I'm telling you, there's sculptures, there's paintings.
And you don't see them in American. You don't see them in a lot of American museums. You'll see all these other. And I go, bring more African.
I'm talking about beautiful.
I know.
We were supposed to be there for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just thought, okay, I just want to show my kids, and we're gonna go off to our next stop. That next stop never came because by that time they were hungry.
Yeah.
And we went from the art gallery over there. But my wife's like, "Come here, let me show you this." And I'm like, I wanted to shop. I swear to you, this is the most beautiful art gallery I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And for a moment, I wanted to shop like Michael Jackson. You remember
like that? 2 of those.
Like, no.
19 of those.
No. Michael Jackson didn't look. No, he didn't look. He goes, yeah, can I get 2 of those? Yeah.
Yeah. And he was walking with the reporter.
Yeah.
Let me get that.
Martin Bashir.
I'll buy the wall.
Right there.
I'll get that.
Is this Picasso? Is this Picasso?
Yeah. That was great. Yeah, he was just like, Michael, what are you doing? He's like, those are beautiful.
He said, Michael, this is $50,000. Michael's just like, I'm not
let me get that. Let me get 2 of those.
He's like, don't I have one of these? I have one of these right here. I wanted to say, Nikkei, I have one of these, don't I? I wanted to try.
Give me that one.
I don't have Michael Jackson money, so I couldn't sell like that. But so I took one, and my wife said, what about this one?
Yeah.
I said, babe, now come on, this kid's got to go to college now.
Because we were used to growing up we had African art, but it was like always the masks and the basic, but to see like, you don't think about, when you think about Picasso and Monet and Cezanne and all those other artists and Dali, and when you're used to going to art museums, they never put African people as artists. And we're some of the first artists, period. And even you look at Picasso started Cubism in Africa. That's where he started making masks, because he went to Africa and started copying the African artists through Cubism. He calls it Cubism. He was in a period of Cubism, and as Picasso was doing African, because a lot of artists copy African stuff, but the Africans don't get pushed because the art world is a little bit, they're a little separatist there, you know. And there's some Africans murdering the game on levels. Man,
no. I can feel it.
I follow them and I keep in touch with some of them. I'm trying to get them on our show. There's one guy, he does these big metal sculptures.
The metal sculptures are amazing.
With the blowtorch. Yes. And their big faces.
Bro,
I keep in touch. Bro, I need to see him. I want him to come here. It's unbelievable. And we go look, I forgot his name. If you can find him,
get my phone.
Listen, and we can show footage of it while we're talking right now. And there's the dude who painted the Obamas, that guy too. Yep. He painted, remember the ones where they're sitting? There's so many of them that do these, there's these African artists that paint the pictures of like, people crying or with the water, when they have water on their faces, and they paint the water, a person with water dripping on, and it looks like an actual photo. There's so many African artists that need to be exposed. And it's coming, it's slowly coming. And they're like, when I tell you it's super, super art, you know how you go to a contemporary art museum and it's bull. I mean, some of this contemporary art be making my itch. I'll be like this. Like, can I get that water bottle right there? Let me get a water bottle. This is contemporary art museums. It'd be just this with a rope around it. You'd be like, what the hell is this?
This artist is from Japan, and you see, the art is inside the water, but no one can see it. It's molecular art.
Get the hell out of here.
I paid $35 to come in to see a bottle of water.
I will tell you, speaking of bottles, my wife and I saw a piece of work. It was the most incredible art you'll ever see.
Okay.
Took all of the trash that you'll see just kind of scattered around,
and then built it
into this beautiful artwork. And you're going, I would totally put that in my office.
See, that is that's art. Yeah. I'm not, listen, art, people could say art is subjective, but then there's art that's just dumb. You know what I mean? I love when people go, subjectivity. This water bottle and this rope is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I want art where you work, you work it from something, sculptors and pottery. I need, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, it's when they do comedy, they go, but it's subject. No, there's just comics, my friend. They're just terrible comedians. And there's comedians that are funny, have different styles, but there's just comics too. I hate that subjectivity for mediocrity. That's bad. That's amazing.
All
garbage.
No.
Trash and stuff like that. Different scraps. That's amazing.
It's scrap metal and turned it into
a butterfly. It's beautiful.
How do I get this?
That's amazing.
I mean, it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
And a lot of these African artists need to be exposed. They need to be, and it's coming around.
I met one, Rotimi Akinre, and we were at a coffee shop, my wife and I, and we were going, oh my goodness, look at this artwork. I was like, I need to meet this person. I ended up meeting him, and I was just like, this is amazing. But like the work that is done, and I'm like, I didn't even know I even had the ability to do that. I'm like, yo, man, who painted this? Get this person on the phone right now.
The levels are insane, and there are a lot of unknown ones that are just like making their way. And I have friends.
Go look up Rotimi Akinre.
Yeah, I have a friend, Jérôme Lagarrigue.
Yeah,
he's a French black dude. He's been painting for a long time. He's finally getting his recognition. He used to paint big pictures of boxers. That was his thing. And I bought one of his paintings for like $700. Like when he was first starting, it was 2 boxers like duck, and it's like a dope. And I said, I want to buy that. He goes, oh, that's whack. I go, to me, I can't do that. And I bought it. I said, let me just get it. I want to buy it. I want to patronize you. And this was 1990, no, 2000.
How much is it worth now?
I don't know yet, because he's like, he's doing really well now. And I was around him when he was still struggling, because there was some racism and a lot of these art, he's still, he was going through that. You're black. It never stops. But he's coming into his own, and I go, I bought one of your first paintings. He goes, I know. So who knows? It's in storage, but it's too, I'm going to look, but he's another guy that I see a guy like him. And I always wonder, are these African artists going through the same thing? You know what I mean? Cause they're doing,
trying to find it's a great discussion in being able to bring out, African artists.
I would love to do that.
And have it on the show so we get to hear their story, because to see 5 or 6 floors, I mean, bro, like when I say 5, 6 floors, story high of all this beautiful, I mean, it's got to be $1 billion worth of art.
Yeah, it's sick, man.
It's just phenomenal work stuff. So that was cool. That was cool to be able to see that. So today we're getting ready to go to a new state. So we're in Lagos State. Now we're getting ready to go to Ogun State. There are 36 states in Nigeria. I just learned that. And we're getting ready to go see Olumo Rock. It's not been there. I'm just now finding out that we got to take a hike. So I got to switch out my shoes, because this ain't gonna work. My kids have no idea that they're about to do some like real hiking. So this is gonna be interesting, because we're not dressed for it. And I think with the drive, the kids will get to see a little bit more of Nigeria. The whole plan is for them just to see as much of Nigeria as they can. We took this amazing drive and I was learning more about Nigeria. It's like this constant thing of learning the different states. And so I'd only obviously ever been to Abuja and Lagos. So we traveled to Ogun State rather, and went to Abeokuta. And my grandfather, I believe, my great-grandfather or grandfather, that's where they started from before they came to Lagos. And, we went to this Olumo Rock, which is this national park where you can see the history of kind of the people who started there. Yeah. And they used this rock during, war to hide, and people hid behind this rock. And it was just this massive, I mean, it's a beautiful park, by the way, but it's got a lot of history to it. And, my kids didn't necessarily care for it, because they were still trying to understand the English through the Nigerian accent. But it was so hot, and it was this massive climb to take these long stairs. You guys must have been miserable. Oh, there was this like heat climbing. I can't quite understand what's being said. So I was trying to. They're just sitting there like, Can we go back to the car? And it was a long drive.
But it was African stuff is never easy. It's always long. Yeah. Always like, especially in Nigeria, like, where are we going? Oh, hell. Yeah. But you have to go through it. You think about the people that lived there that had to do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I ain't complaining about nothing. Yeah. But do you feel that you can, that's another thing. They say, well, you're never going to buy property in Africa.
I would love to. I would love to.
Go, I think I can do that.
I think I can do that. There's 2 places I was looking. One is Echo Atlantic. So, we had that conversation with Remy. Remy, we had him on as a guest, and he was talking about how his father helped to build what is Banana Island. Yeah. And they're doing the same thing at Echo Atlantic, where they're, filling in the land and building these beautiful sky risers. So I just got a booklet, and I was thinking, I could buy one of those, those floors
already built.
It's not built yet, but they're getting ready to build.
Ground up.
No. They're getting ready to build it, but it would be like this massive condo, like in Miami.
Yeah. And I wouldn't mind one of those.
Man, and like what I love about that, because it's not like one of the freestanding ones, and it's protected, and
you want to have it already established.
It's already established.
Yeah.
So I started to look in different places, but for me, like as much as I love the fact that my family history starts in Lagos, I'm a California kid, and like to me, Abuja is more less my speed. It's slow.
Rural.
It's rural.
Nah, you gotta be Lagos.
It feels
you gotta be like.
But you can get to Lagos in 1 hour, so it's no different than just
driving.
No, flying.
Flying, right? Okay,
It's like hour.
I wonder what driving would it be. Maybe
because the roads, 6 hours.
But the infrastructure is supposed to be getting fixed.
Yeah, well, so they're doing amazing things. So at Echo Hotel, there used to be access to the beach.
Right.
Now they filled that space in, and they're building an intercoastal highway that takes you from different parts. I'm telling you, they're building the infrastructure. I don't know, for all the things that Nigeria needs to improve on, there are areas I can honestly say, having been foot on the ground, to say, okay, they're building a road. So just like we have here in California, the PCH highway.
All the way to Malibu.
All the way to Malibu on coast. So they're building a coastal road.
Great.
So I'm sitting there at Echo Hotel, like, telling my kids, there's access to the beach. When the last time I was here, they goes, there's no access to the beach there anymore. I'm going, what happened? Oh, they're building a road. So they're now building that road where you can now go and travel to different areas. So you can get from the west to the east.
Great.
But it's not built yet. It's not finished being built, but they're building it now. They've got the train system now. That wasn't there. That's only been about 2 or 3 years old.
Train system.
That's got a train system. So it's just allowing the densely populated place.
But it took outsiders to go, and then our own government can't even have the wherewithal to go, why can't you?
Yeah, to me, it comes down to being able to understand the system, because you can't fix a system that you don't understand. So it's easy for me or for us to discuss it, but I'm like, that was something I wish I could have learned in 9 days.
Wish I could have learned,
But sitting there was, just going, well, okay, I can see the improvement, but then when you see the improvement, you just naturally want more. Okay, what's next? Yeah. And, that was cool to see the development in those spaces.
Sorry, your kids interested in learning the language?
No, I don't think my kids are interested in learning the language. And I think that's partly because I haven't learned the language.
Right.
And so until it's important to me, and which it is important to me, but it's intimidating. You know what I mean? I'm like, here I am at this stage in my life, and I would love to, because I want my father to hear me speak the language. But then, I'm like, I actually have, kids to raise, and I've got all this stuff. So where am I have to literally put myself in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I truly believe I could learn the language in a year if I was living in Nigeria for a year.
Yeah,
I could learn, because then I'm around it. It's accessible,
or at least the pidgin English. At least the
pidgin English is difficult.
That's the main thing now. They're not like Igbo. My cousins are like, we're not Igbo. We don't even really speak the Igbo. We're English. We're pidgin English.
Yeah. It's its own thing.
Yeah, it's like, come on, chop on.
I did a podcast out there, and the host was testing me on
Kerry Last. I know I be all this. I don't know Wahala. I know Wahala. I know this. Yeah.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I gotta give me a little glossary, because I'm gonna get that broken English.
It's kind of cool though. I love the pidgin English because it's kind of
fire. Cool. It's like patois, like with the Jamaicans. They have bomba clad when I want to go. Now ours is like, come on, chop and quench. What? I don't make him. I go, I go make him for what? What are you? Hey, I know Wahala, no trouble. I don't want no trouble, no Wahala. Yeah, so I want to be like more fluent in that. That gives me motivation for that, because it seems way more fun. And when I was there for 2 weeks. So but you start to get used to the talk. You start like, if I say, how far now?
How far?
You say, I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. You hear that now? How far now? And it's and how far can be used in different ways.
How far now? You say, I did. I know Wahala. That traffic bill, I tell you that. It's like, I want to get that.
Yeah.
And I want people to know this episode, we're trying to get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I love in some of the comments, you have people that'll give you this hard critique.
Right.
Some of these like when I wore my cousin's thing, Babuji, I'm going to say it again. Babuji, my cousin Ebony, you should check out her website. She makes amazing clothing. She's Edo. She lives in Nigeria. She designs furniture and amazing clothing. And I'm wearing my Rick Owens stuff, right? And they just were like, those are the wrong shoes. Why are you? I go, listen, first of all, I ain't wearing no sandals, right? I ain't having my toes out. That ain't gonna happen. I'm flat-footed. That ain't happening, all right? I'm not having my toes just wiggling on the. I go, you should be able to wear any kind of shoes you want.
But that's
it was like you had to pick. Stop. I got the joint on.
Right.
Like
right.
you really picking at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They always got to find, oh, you're American. Nah, shut up. I'm not wearing, I'm wearing what I want with this. This fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but there was just this, you're wearing the wrong, I said, really? You're being that petty?
Yeah, those are probably just Twitter,
Yeah, but I'd be like this. I'd be like, eat up. Eat up. And eat up.
The thumb thugs, because you know, when I see,
I'd be
what
like,
I see now is
with a hot dog bun.
You're starting to see
ketchup and mustard.
You're starting to see a fusion. What I'm seeing in Nigeria now is you're starting to see a fusion of Western culture.
Yeah.
You're seeing like African American swag built in with the Nigerian swag.
It's great.
So it is kind of like this big like mix where it's just like you felt like you could fit in any which way, right?
Yeah.
And it was beautiful to see. The other thing too is like we talking about like Echo Atlantic and what they're building over there. I think could be, I think it could be transformative for real. Like, I mean, you're talking about you got the Rolex shop there. You got all these.
Oh, you've seen it. You
can see
at all the luxury stuff. Finally,
all the luxury stuff.
Finally
coming about, and you're going, okay,
that's
cool,
beautiful.
Because it feels like it's now catering towards tourism because Lagos is so dense. It's so dense. They still got to figure out, traffic and just the roads and all that other stuff.
And I don't want them to be building this stuff for outsiders to take over. Because there's, you got Lebanese that have been there since the 50s. You got the Chinese that are there. But there was one situation where the Chinese they had some area where they didn't allow Nigerians in Africa, and the Nigerians burned it down, and I clapped. I was like, good. They go, how are you not letting us?
It's interesting that you said
that. It was just not all the Chinese. It was just one part where it was like some place they didn't allow Nigerians in Nigeria. Yeah, and the Nigerians burned it down. I said, good. I'm tired of people coming into Africa telling black people they can't come in anywhere. Burn that down. Yeah. And I'm glad the Nigerians did that. They said that's not fair.
Yeah, I would say this because you mentioned, and I didn't know this, but we were going to, and our family were having these fine dining experiences.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned to me that, a lot of the restaurants aren't Nigerian owned. They're owned by the
Lebanese, yeah.
And so we were very particular about the places that we went. One of the places we went to go see, Chef Tolu, the billionaire chef. And we went to his place. Man, his place was amazing.
Yeah, I bet.
Great food, great service, great ambiance.
Yeah.
We got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was just to see what he set up here in LA. He did all these pop-ups and really kind of made me a fan of his storytelling and a fan of his food. Then to be able to go see him, and he spent so much time building up his restaurant in Nigeria. It was cool that my kids and everybody kind of just enjoyed the entire experience. And then my brother's friend owns a cafe. And let me tell you something, man. I didn't know where I was. This thing was so good. And I said I didn't know where I was because, again, it's changing the way we see and feel and experience. But it was this boutique cafe, XO Boutique Cafe in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
So this is Boutique Bakery, and this is a place that my brother recommended. He's good friends with the owner, Alex. So if you're in Lagos, Nigeria, you got to stop by Boutique Bakery. It's a fabulous spot. Can't wait. Man, this cafe was amazing. I'm talking about the best coffee, the best donuts, best breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just sitting there.
Did you take notes and write these places down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Everything was videoed and we documented it.
Dope.
And here's the crazy thing about it. When we were fine dining, when I fine dine with my family, there's 6 of us now.
Yeah.
I'm spending and dropping at least $600-700 on dinner.
Right.
Like if we just, hey guys, let's go out, family Friday.
You're not playing.
Like $600-700. Like, dang, that's expensive. Here we are, order like big dogs. I'm like, oh boy, these kids, oh my gosh, this is gonna cost me at least $1,500. We want to try this, and we want to have this, and we want to have this. They were just ordering. We don't even know what that is that says, but it's Nigerian food, and we want it. I'm talking about, and these are like high-end restaurants we're going to. $300, $275. We had a massive breakfast spread, $168. That I would never pay $168 in America because it's gonna be $500, $400.
No doubt.
I'm like,
this is great.
Yo, you'll see it like top of the line. And I'm going, man, the cost of living clearly is far more affordable. And this is something I had discussions with some of my friends. They'd be like, yo, man, it's just bad here in the States. And I'm going, you know what? For as bad as you think it is, you could take 20 G's, you could take 30 G's, and you could set up
and rock
and
out.
Find a spot in Nigeria. I know it's far-fetched for a lot of people because I don't know anybody there. I can't do it. But it is like when you start thinking about what you can get and the quality, because people think that, you know, you associate Africa, you talk about, you know, some of the dining experience or whatever, and they don't associate quality. And
at all.
That's why I was so intentional, because I wanted my kids to see that, yes, you're going to have your hole in the wall.
No
just
doubt.
like we have our
the
hole
here,
in the wall. Yeah, you got your hole in the wall spot.
Skid Row.
I'm talking about the hole in the wall spot that will give you the best tacos in LA. Right? You go find the best tacos in LA. It's not going to be at some like beautiful spot, right?
And it's called Skid Row. Skid Row hot dogs.
I've never had that.
No,
but I showed them a variety of different things.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's great. That exposure, I think, gave my kids something to where when they go back to school and their kids are asking, hey, yo, the kids ask them, how was Africa?
Yeah.
They're like, yo, man, it's not what you think it is, right? Because we had to. You never did that. Yeah, we did, you know? And then I show them the other side. All right, so we're chilling here at Cilantro Botanical Gardens in Abuja, Nigeria. Pretty cool, very nice and serene. We were hoping to see some monkeys, but while we're just chilling, the gentleman asked me, he says, what would you guys like to drink? And we go, pineapple, Sprite, and then he said Chapman, and I'm going, I said, what is that? And this is a Nigerian drink, special drink. It is the best drink I've ever had. This will be a drink that I'm gonna learn how to make, and I'll start making it in America. In fact, I'm gonna just bring it to America and just say, I came up with it my own. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna get sued by Nigeria. Take a look at the rest of the Cilantro Park. Pretty beautiful. We traveled to Abuja, where my cousin, we say uncle because
of course,
elder, but he's my cousin, is the chief of staff to the president of Nigeria.
That's crazy.
To President Tinubu. And so we were, for the first time, had a chance to meet. He's been in on Twitter or X or whatever. People might tag him or me, but they're tagging me and they think I'm him because of the last name. And
That's
so
crazy.
It was cool to meet him for the very first time, him and his beautiful wife, Sal. And the first thing he goes, you guys have been, I've been, running behind this name forever because, when I come to America, they go, oh, are you related to the guy from Green Bay? Or are you related to the guy from Ninja Warrior? And I was like, well, shoot, you're all up in my feed. He goes, I'm sorry if anybody is saying anything crazy.
So he's in Abuja.
Yeah, he lives in Abuja. And so my kids got a chance to meet them. And just as you said, just put out the spread. The food was amazing. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful people. It was just so cool. But it wasn't what, for the first time meeting my uncle / cousin, that, you think Nigerian politician, this couldn't have been the funniest, the coolest, just the chill. Life was just.
It's not all.
No. It was none of that. And just, just going back and just learning the story and the history and his beginnings and where he started and what he's built a credible name in Nigeria. And so my kids got a chance to meet different family members.
You didn't bring up any of the. What's up with the government, man?
No, you know what I mean?
Because you're like this. What's up with the corruption, man? Just keep it real, B.J. Miller. What is up with this president, man?
I don't think
what you gonna do with him, man?
My kids were not ready for that conversation because if I wanted to have that conversation, I could see because
it would be
Nigerian
on another trip. It'd have to be on another trip.
That's an 8-hour conversation. That is not one.
Do you have his number? You
of course.
You got to do a FaceTime with him and ask him questions
yeah.
I tell you, why are there flies on an African podcast? Why are there flies? You're sending in flies. Don't make it so authentic. Now. I'm like this. Yeah, so
Yeah, but that was so to see Femi Gbajabiamila, his wife Sal.
Yeah.
We got a chance to visit her cafe Salamander, which is amazing, amazing food.
Dope.
They have Italian coffee there.
Dope.
And so that whole experience. And then we met my other cousin. Well, I met because this is a funny thing. So we're staying at, and I want my money back too because
what happened?
So we were staying at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja.
Okay.
And beautiful hotel. Everything is all nice and set up. And we were scheduled to go meet Femi's brother, Lanre Gbajabiamila.
Lanre.
And so we were going to go meet him. He's a very successful businessman. And so anyways, we were getting ready to head out. And all of the water in the hotel out. And this was the night before. I thought, okay, you know what? It's going to come back up. You know, maybe it'll be down a couple of hours. We wake up, no water. I'm like, we're supposed to go have lunch with him. He had all the food made and everything. And I am so sorry. I'm like, we don't have any water. I'm like, my kids ain't
The tank,
into this.
they had to go fill the tank up or something?
So this was crazy because, and I want my money back, Hilton. I need to file for that.
Yeah.
Because we got the presidential suite. We got 2 floors of hotel rooms. And all of a sudden, they're bringing up buckets with the little things.
Man.
Take the thing. And I had a little chuckle because I actually grew up taking baths in the 5 gallon. I go, let's see how my wife and kids are going to handle this one. But I got to give them credit. It's in their blood. They immediately adapted to it. I thought they were like, what are we going to do with the buckets of water? And like,
they were like, okay.
Yeah, that was okay. And then my wife turned it into a competition.
That's fun.
But which is crazy because she's 5'3", I'm 6'6".
Oh.
So she used like this much. So she used like this much. Oh, this is all the water. She used this much of water to take a bath or to do her shower. And then I got there and it was down here. So it was like, you don't know how to conserve water. I thought you were Nigerian.
That's just your forehead.
I said, I'm a big dude. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah, that's cool.
But we had no running water, so we couldn't. So I took a shower. I went over to go meet my cousin / uncle. And that was cool. And he was just so down to earth, so funny. And, and it was just crazy because he spent time here in the U.S. and we've actually crossed paths, but didn't know, like,
that's
in the
insane.
same.
That's insane.
You know, and I was just like, gosh, I didn't know because I thought when my father came to America, he was the only Gbajabiamila.
Yeah.
And so I'm still waiting to talk to my dad and to say, like, you know, when and how did we kind of miss that there were other Gbajabiamilas in the U.S., you know, but they were in the Atlanta and other places.
Yeah.
But that would just make me feel like, man, there's more. Yeah. There's a connection that I'm not just this disconnected person.
It's dope. I'm just so happy that what you did, me connecting a year and a half. I mean, it's like, I feel like I'm on to something finally. Like I feel like I don't feel as distant because it used to always be this thing like, okay, when are you coming home? I'm like, okay, yeah. It's always like, it's like an imposter syndrome almost. Yeah. It's like imposter syndrome. Like, do I really belong here? Do I? And so
you don't have this feeling of wanting to come back, but meeting, like spending the time that I did with my uncle Ramon and Mufutao, and him always hitting me up on WhatsApp. Mufutao always staying connected, sending me, you know, and then meeting my uncle Femi and I'm going, I have a reason to come back. I know people.
Yeah, you do.
Because at first I didn't have any, because I didn't know anybody. Right. And so now I have a reason. Like somebody said, oh, you're going to come back. I said, I can guarantee you this. It won't take me 20 years to come back. It won't take me 20 months to come back. I'm coming back by the grace of God. I'll be back next year. Yeah. You know, but that was like, I want to make this thing a yearly trip for my family.
I would like that. Yeah. My cousin Oni, shout out to my first cousin Oni, she like goes every other month. She's like, cause she's in fashion and makeup and all that. She's a makeup artist, but she's always going so much. She like knows the street. It's dope. I like, that's so dope, you know, because our fathers are brothers.
I bet you she doesn't go in December though. I can tell you that much.
She went with me in December.
That dirty December. I was supposed to actually go in December. Not in April.
Insane.
How much do you think them tickets cost Delta did me dirty.
Delta, yeah.
How much do you think them tickets cost to go from
$5,000 bucks or
LA to
$5,000, $10,000?
$13,000 for a ticket to. I was like, there's 6 of us. Or it's actually there's 7 of us. I was like, there's 7 of us. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I said,
you
gotta go in the off season.
I said, I'm gonna go in April.
Going in the off season. Just connect with your people. Yeah. You got big family in great positions. You'll never have a bad time.
Yeah, right.
They'll be like this. I will show you. I will call my because and you want to go during Dirty December, like, because I was like, yo, because the parties were, I'm telling you, man, they were fun. And the thing is, what's great is when you go into a Nigerian party, everybody's engineer, doctor, tech. It's all just.
I've never done the nightlife.
My cousin, she took me to a film festival because she's Adeswa. That's my cousin's sister, who's the fashion, the clothes designer. She's she just did a great documentary on the women's Nigerian basketball team. Okay. She did a great documentary, which people need to see it. And she's been putting it in film festivals, and they're underfunded. Nigerian women's basketball team, and they've been competing and they're underfunded. Yeah. The same problems with the soccer team that we have. So, and I went to a film festival, and it was awesome. All these Nigerian filmmakers and producers, and I go, yeah, it was like everybody's doing something dope.
You know what I hear about the passion in your voice is that we're discovering. Yeah. We're discovering other parts in the things that we heard our parents talk about, the things that we weren't connected to. Yeah. So there is this natural excitement when you get to see those things. Like you, I think you know this about me. I know you like root beer. I'm a big coffee dude. I love coffee, and I'm a coffee snob. Yeah. Like, I don't care what anybody, I'm unapologetic and being snobby when it comes to coffee. I didn't know that I was going to find a spot in Nigeria that was it will rival any place in the world. I said it, the world. This place is called My Shai.
My Shai?
My Shai.
Spell that.
MAAYIS. MAYI, I think. And it means the person who serves tea in Hausa. It's Hausa. I might be misspelling it.
Well, let us know, guys, in the comments. Don't go, he's saying it's wrong. Just help us out. Let us know.
My Shai. And it's like the one who serves tea. But let me tell you something. This is the most beautiful, first off, the most beautiful coffee shop I've ever been to.
What? And I love coffee shops.
And they talk like this, and everybody's cool. The food is amazing.
How they talk?
Process, everybody's like,
hey, it's not a loud African place. You want some coffee? Hey!
I'm talking about the cleanest.
Welcome to my side.
The cleanest place you'll see. I'm talking about the most expensive artwork.
I love it.
You'll ever see.
I love it.
On a shop, and everybody's in there, and I'm going, wow, what is this place? I just looked it up. I'm like, yo,
it's sort of we actually got African hipsters.
No, bro. No, let me tell you something.
We got hipsters, man.
I'm gonna take it to another level.
And I love coffee shops.
So typically you hear about coffee beans from Central America, and you'll hear about
coffee comes from Ethiopia.
Yeah, but you don't know about the Nigerian coffee beans. I brought some over.
All the minerals.
I thought they were going to stop me, but they just now, for a long time, for all of the, political stuff that happened, that they weren't able to do anything with the coffee beans. But now this company has found a way. They've got their own coffee bean farm.
Really? Are you going to order from them?
Heck yes. But I got all of their information. I said, take me to your farm. I was like, you can leave my kids and my wife here. Take me to your coffee farm. I want to see it.
Organic.
They go it's too far away. We're going to be on the road for a couple hours. Yeah. But I wanted to see it. But I'm like, when I go back, I'm going to definitely check it out.
Imagine how powerful it is growing in Africa.
Can I tell you, baby? I've had coffee beans from all around different places. Right. I've never had Nigerian coffee. There was a taste to this. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't care if I was from Rwanda. I'm telling you, these are the best coffee beans I've ever had in my life. And we went there once and then came back again twice. We had our breakfast there. We had the coffee there. We did this whole test smell, aroma thing, educational thing. They roast their own beans. So they grow their beans, they roast their beans, they serve their beans. So it's just this whole flow and economy where you can go, yo, this is how it should be in other industries in Africa. You raise it there. You don't have to export it. You can do it all right here. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you right now, if I brought that same exact coffee bean shop and I brought it here to LA, it would be the #1 coffee shop in all of California.
Blow everybody out the water.
I kid you not. I'm not. If you think I'm lying, just fly over there and go see.
Yeah.
Just
now
go
we need a Nigerian root beer, baby.
I mean, you'll see it. You'll see the video. I got the video, and you can see just the style, the place, the energy. I mean, the only thing you can't see on the videos, you can't see the taste, and see what it tastes like.
Right.
Because it tastes amazing, man.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee expert like that, but I believe you.
Yeah.
So that's what.
And I think when people see this, they go, "Wow! Like I didn't know that. I didn't know."
Of course not.
Yeah, right.
You don't think Nigerian and coffee. Right. You think Spanish coffee, Italian coffee, and
there's Nigerian coffee.
And a lot of times the coffee they get from Africa anyway. Yep. The chocolate they get from Africa. It's all from Africa, but they go French chocolate. They got it from Africa. Yep. Africa supports. Without Africa, France collapses. Right. Jacques Chirac, the old French president, said, without Africa, France is, it's nothing. It's rien. It means nothing. Yeah. They're done. But they trained us to think Africa ain't.
Right.
They really did. But now it's like, nah. There's so many people like us in Africa under this, whatever they call it. There's subcultures in Africa, and they're killing it, bro. When I tell you they're killing it, man, I'm like...
You bring up a good point with that, because whereas a lot of these goods are being exported and then being reclaimed as their own, to hear like Nigerian coffee, to hear Nigerian chocolate. I have it right now at my coffee bar. I have a whole coffee station in my house. Right there, I have my Nigerian chocolate, like literally says Nigerian chocolate. I have and I'm not talking about the Milo, right? I'm talking about Nigerian chocolate. I have my Nigerian coffee beans from my shine. Like, I have it there. I'm like, yo, I actually don't, I want to eat it, but I'm like, nah, I got to order more coffee beans. I'm going to leave the chocolate there
just to have it.
When you walk in, I say, oh, what is that? Can I have some? Nope, I bought that 2 years ago.
Yeah, stuff made by your own people.
Yeah,
and they've been always trying to stop that, to make Africans feel like you're only there for servitude. Right. You're only there for other people's profit. And
it doesn't have the same junk that they put in the American
Hell
stuff.
no,
it doesn't have the same junk.
That's why it's like and this is great. I'm excited, and I go, wow, I want to be part of that. Like, now that I went there, when I was there, I was like, yo, look at all this potential, man. And I had some guys I knew, they were building, they got these boutique hotels that they built. I went in, smoked cigars, but I was like, yo, they got Igbo, like, designs. I was like, this is bad. Swimming pool, but they go, oh yeah, my buddies, runs from England. The guy, Richard, he has his own restaurant, but it's all online. And he goes, yeah, let me take you to we're building hotels. I was like, look at this right here. Yeah. They're all owned, like boutique hotels, fly.
We stayed at a boutique hotel. Yeah. I don't know if it was Nigerian owned, but it was a nice boutique hotel.
Yeah.
I got one upped, right? So just to make sure that my family felt comfortable, we had a small security detail with us, and there was no need for a security detail, but just to make sure everything was cool. And so we get out, we've got the, police escort van and all this other kind of stuff. And we get out, and there is this massive commotion at the hotel. We're staying at the George. And I'm going, what the heck is going on? Sirens and everything. Military guns and what the heck is going on? The president's son is staying at the hotel where we're staying. And
you got one up. Nobody's business.
I said, oh, well, so much for my security detail. Yeah. I'm like, y'all stay back here. But I mean, you had lines of the Mercedes vans or the Jeep
There's so many different soldiers, too, levels of military. Yeah. Who's dudes in the blue ones? Who's the blue ones? And it's all these berets. And because my
kids said they are so intimidating.
They're all like in boots and different uniforms, different levels of soldier. And then when I was staying at they have the is it on by Lecky? It's
Lecky's
like Continental, the main Continental.
Continental Hotel. That's what we had the very first night. We went and ate at their buffet.
The buffet. So we were there, and some chief dude came, and it was like, it was like, and we were like, yo, what's King Joffrey Jofur is coming, and it was some dude, and it was just dancers, and it was dope. It was like cool, and then we took a picture with one of the royalty dudes, but it was a little weird though because we took a picture and he was like, money. Yeah, you're supposed to like give him money. I was like, man, this is bull, chief, man. You ain't this. This is bull. How the hell you a chief, man? He was like, give money.
You wasting my time. Give me some money.
Yeah. So I had to like. It was like a tradition to give him, but yeah, man. When Nigerian.
That Continental Hotel is nice, by the way.
Yeah, Continental was great.
Yeah, Continental was
fun. The lobby is fat.
Yeah, we were supposed to stay there, but I wanted to.
Yeah, I stayed there 2 weeks.
Oh, is that right?
With
the next time I say, that's what I'm gonna say.
Man, that all made so many connections.
Beautiful paintings there.
Oh yeah,
inside.
Paintings of fly.
Did you get this one? Oh my goodness, the shea butter. They had this place in the spa upstairs at the Continental.
How was that?
And we went there. Oh my goodness, I need to go back. Oh my goodness, what is the name of this? Oriki Shea Butter. And this thing, like, I feel so stupid because years ago when I was in college, my mom bought me shea butter. And this is before shea butter
was bomb.
And I didn't know what shea butter was. And, you know, I'm just, I don't know what I was thinking as a little, as a college kid. She bought me tubs of it. And I was like, Mom, nobody uses shea butter, right? This is before.
Right, no, before. Yeah, no doubt.
And I used a little bit of it as, it doesn't have no smell to it. This is probably just
real deal.
I tossed it. Fast forward 10 years later.
Shea butter everywhere.
Shea butter everywhere. I was like, my mom gave me raw shea butter.
Raw.
And I didn't know what to do with it. So I
we
tossed
didn't know.
it.
Look at
So I went, when I get there, I mean, I'm talking about amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was buying it for, but it was very, very affordable. I'm like, I wanted to take all this, but I didn't want to get stopped. But I literally got their website thing. I'm like, I'm ordering all this back up. The most amazing shea butter. You want to know why they say black don't crack? It's because of that damn shea butter.
Shea butter.
That shea butter that's the secret.
All you ashy ones.
Yeah.
You know, shea butter.
It's not what they said in Coming to America, juices and berries. It is the shea butter.
Shea butter has juices and berries.
Actually, I need to stop saying that because then their stocks are going to go up.
Oh, that's right.
I need to only buy Nigerian shea butter.
It's like palm oil.
Yeah.
That we always had it. My mother had big old tubs of palm oil. We were the only ones using it. They were using, America was vegetable oil, Crisco, all those other horrible oils. And we were palm oil.
Do you remember during the pandemic and all of a sudden my friend's dad was texting me saying, boy, what you know about this? This does the new healthiest oil, palm oil.
Yeah, I'm like, my man.
I grew up on
You are late as hell.
I go, wait, what?
And in Whole Foods, it's like, $25 for what?
Man, you can go get
my mother gallon of that big old vat sitting on the stove of palm oil. It's one of the healthiest. And it's like, all of this stuff Africa provides, and yet even sugar cane. It was normal for us to have sugar cane and all of these like tuber fruit, like all these like rooted fruits and vegetables. We had it. Chewing sticks for your teeth, which they're doing now. I go, you're late.
I didn't floss. People ask me, it's like, where'd you buy your teeth? I go, you see these? These, I was born with these.
Me too.
And people ask me all the time, what'd you do? I'm like, I did nothing.
Yeah.
My dad made us brush our teeth with baking soda, and we chew the chewing stick. I forget what they call it. I can't remember.
There's a name for it.
There's a name for it. We used to do it. I was like, I didn't have a dental floss. As God is my witness, I did not have a dental floss until I got to college.
Right.
I never went to a dentist until I went to college.
Me too.
I never saw.
And the loofah. My mother always had an African. The loofah, that's old. Yep. My mother had the loofah thing.
Yep.
We would scrub up. I'm like, you guys are late. All that bath to be body work bullshit.
It is.
Africa was on it. Even the baby Karen. Man, my mother was wrapping us in a lapa on the back. You cheat. Now these little hippie. But
you know what it is? You know what it is? It's like, to me, what I noticed there, and this is, identifying where in Nigeria that there's this massive, massive wealth and resources and all the different things. But what's happened is that there's been this discreditation, right? Saying that it's not good until it gets somewhere else and someone else blows it up. And when they blow it up, and say, oh, this is the new thing, everyone goes there and goes like, this is not good. So it paralyzes the economy because people won't trust when I say that the coffee beans there is good. And if anybody should trust me, when it comes to coffee, I'm your guy, right? But they won't believe it until Starbucks goes, we're selling our very own fresh Nigerian coffee beans. And everybody runs to Starbucks when going, yo, this is where it started. The other part is that, you know, and I don't know too much. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I can talk on the level of, you know, what's going on in Nigeria, but the manufacturing area in that department and where there's so many people in Nigeria, close to the same amount of people we have here in the United States, but it's very small population is in the manufacturing. The amount of craft that you saw, the craft works and the
crazy,
the artistry,
crazy.
We don't have that infrastructure. You look at what's happening in China, and they literally can build empires because they have people who can sew, but so does Nigeria. They have people who can build, so does Nigeria. They have people who can code, so does Nigeria. So you look at all of these things and you're going, wait, why isn't there this big manufacturing boom in being able to take advantage? Because here's what I know for sure, that the Nigerian people and in our country, we see on every block, every corner you turn when you're in Lagos, there's a pop-up shop. My kids ask me like, why are there so many like people just selling everything and anything? I was like, well, just like we have a kind of like our organized grocery store, which they have in Nigeria.
Brick and mortar.
That's their brick and mortar, and they set up shop and they sell in the gari.
They're
selling, they sell it. But I'm going, the people there are willing and they are doing the work, right? But if we created something to where the world comes to Nigeria and taps into that, so then you build up this whole manufacturing arm of Nigeria, then the people start to be, because to see the level of poverty, you know, from the haves and the have-nots, and to be able to see both sides of that, I'm going, wait, there's a big gap. And the gap is that you see that there are too many talented people that aren't being utilized.
It's the heads of the state. It's the government, man. They're just, you should be supporting the arts. There should be funds. Even I know, like you said, no government is perfect, but there are funds for the arts. There's funds for the sports. There's funds for business. But
it's not always the art. I'm gonna say this. I mean, excuse me. It's not always the government.
But
we know that the impact of colonialism on all of Africa. There's certain agreements that we've not privy to, or I don't understand. But I know that it's locked certain government officials from being able to do it. And this is not to say that there aren't corrupt government officials, but there are other areas to where you go like, wait, how are they going to break through? Like the fact that, like when I was listening to the story about the Nigerian coffee beans, and I'm going, wait, why couldn't you export? Like, why am I just now for the first time hearing?
Because the European, like some of these nations said, you can't do that.
Right.
You are not allowed, because they tricked Africans into abiding by their rules. You know,
right?
I guess there's that, but man,
there's multiple sides to it.
I really think there's a lot of bums in the government that really block a lot of shit. And they just you good?
Yeah. Some got in my eye, but yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you crying and be like, I told you, you brought it on yourself. Told you about that, man. Talking that, man. I'm gonna throw you to that door right there. Keep playing games. Good teacher. See that? You guys see me on there?
Well, you do see this one.
Oh, what's that? What is that called again?
So this is the door of return.
The door of return. That's
the door of return.
That's on the website.
This is 154. But I wanted to wear this today.
Good.
Just because it was, me returning back to Nigeria,
That's what's up.
And having my kids connect to their roots in a different way. Experiencing, Lagos, Ogun State, Abuja, and 154 is just kind of connecting all of us, all the countries. And this trip was to connect my kids back to kind of where it all started for my father and for my uncles, and, for them to see the different sides. You know?
This is just me.
This is just you.
Me, my head. See? That's a big Nigerian.
We should put that on the 154.
Because this is like, because everyone asks me, wait, don't you got any merch? This is for me on my godfreylive.com. So I have merch finally coming out, you know what I mean, on my website. And they say, you got to wear your own merch. I'm like, dang. You know what I mean? But that's me right there. Award for 154.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll be nice when we're wearing all kinds of our stuff that we've created, which is great. So you guys make sure you grab that.
It's a
grab
creative space, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
It's a creative space.
Yeah, man. But like I said, it's like a lot of singers, my uncle sang about it. Fela sang about it, like just the corruption. And I'm not blaming, but being in Nigeria and listening to all the people in different vocations from tech to business on saying that, we just do our own thing because, you know, the tops don't really care. Yeah. I really think that has a big effect. I think that if that is a little bit, like you said, if there's a benevolent dictator, I think that more things will happen. I really believe that. Because why is there over 40% people under the, it's crazy. Well, it's insane. All that potential. You don't want your people to do better?
Well,
because you're so greedy?
There's the other side of that too. Because I saw this when we talk about the youth of Nigeria. It was cool for me to see my oldest son be inspired, you know, and he was asking a lot of questions because he's 24 years old now. So his brain thinks differently than my kids who might have been, you know, my younger kids who are thinking maybe more leisure and like, I say, hey, this isn't vacation as much as it is a cultural experience, a little bit of vacation, but really it's us, you know, reconnecting and going back home. Yeah. But he asked so many great questions. He was so involved and his brain started thinking about things that he could do. Why can't this? Just asking some of the obvious questions where you go, wait, this should be done. Somebody can do this. I do think there's a breakthrough. This is maybe the optimistic side of me. You know, you know, I think, you know, you hear people say that with age, you know, there's this certain negativity, or you can be, you know, you know, like you could be maybe a little, you know, down on hope. But I do believe that the younger generation, they're going to kind of crack through. They're going to kind of figure out a way to kind of change. And it's big. It's a heavy thing. This is not one generation is going to take. It's going to take a long time.
But I think they're figuring it out
to fix what's broken.
But yeah, I think they're figuring it out on their own way because they're creating stuff on their own.
Right.
But I'm saying at the top, it can be figured out quickly. You just get these bums out of there, which it's easier said than done. But it's like our administration. Get these bums out of there. You see how your administration does affect you. You know, look at what's happening now. It's a lot of chaos. Like I said, every administration isn't perfect, but there's some administrations where you're like, well, the economy's better. We're doing all right. Gas prices aren't $10. You know, it's important that the people at the top are kind of decent, some kind of human, a little bit. Right. Like there's got to be a dictator that goes, I love art. Ha 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 ha. Right? I love sports. You gotta like something. You can't just go, screw everything. I want all the money. I don't give a damn what the infrastructure. There's gotta be, somebody has to be, it's like mayors of cities. Mayors are always proud of their transportation system. They're always proud of the way the city looks. Right. They go, oh, we got that. We fixed that. Oh yeah, look at that. It could be corrupt, but they'd be like, but look at what we did. We put money into that. I want you guys to come to my city. I want you to enjoy my city. There should be an arrogance where they want the city to look good, not look like a trash bin. Right. You know what I mean? And they don't even have that. That's like ridiculous. And then they're MAGA. What are we doing?
Well, no, not everyone.
Some of them are MAGA.
Some.
I'm saying some are MAGA.
No, because you and I have had the conversation, and it was interesting being able to talk to my uncle, who's kind of educating me on some of the political system in Nigeria, because I think sometimes you can take one group or a certain loud, you know, and say, oh, this is all of Nigeria, but it is very diverse in their political beliefs.
Yeah,
There's two main parties there in Nigeria, but no, it is very much a, you know,
Democrat.
It's a very much I'm not Democrat as in Democrat.
Or oligarchy.
It's a democratic government, but. When I look at that, I'm like, I thought it was like, oh yeah, because you and I have been having that, but having the conversation with him, I realized, oh no, this is not everybody just this one monolithic belief of, you know, hey, we're Trump folks. There are some who identify with that, but they're definitely
maybe
not everyone in Nigeria.
On a capitalistic level, I can get that.
Yeah.
But on the dehumanization and
what do you mean dehumanization?
Dehumanization, like the way he dehumanizes people, that's country. That place
you talking about Trump?
They should,
you talking
yeah,
about Trump.
the dehumanization, the way he talks down on people, the non-diplomacy, like that. I'm not down with that. And if someone says, I support Trump, what are you supporting him on? As far as making money, as far as business, or just telling people they ain't shit and ruining their lives every day.
Right.
That's, I don't like that. And that's almost prescribing to what some government officials in Nigeria are like. Just taking all the money and leaving everybody in dirt and in abject poverty. It's bullshit.
I'll show you this. This is the new
Train system?
No, Murtala Muhammed Airport.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean this.
Finally, the floors are shiny.
Yeah, I mean, just
that's all they had to do was just build an airport.
But this is just one wing.
But that looks like airports that we've been to.
Exactly.
Like,
but so what I'm saying is that there are areas.
I'm glad
because
it's great.
Just like we bring up the areas where they're lacking. Like I have to, for me, because I was like, oh boy, I was prepping my kids like, hey guys, this is a different type of airport. And when we stepped down, I was like, yo, the whole thing is torn down, and you just see this one big side that's beautiful and already built up. I'm like, oh shoot, they're finally doing that. Good. Airport was old as hell.
And I was like, that's the only thing that I think about Nigeria. I go, that damn airport. I go, oh, that
we had
airport.
Zero issues.
And no, because you planned it out.
This is true.
And I did too. And I was a little afraid of my luggage. I was like, okay, we were waiting.
Right.
And then I run into these dudes that are going, can you believe they built the airport on the wrong side? As soon as I got there, I was like, oh no. He's like this, sometimes you can't find your luggage. I said, no, why? I ran right into that conversation. Right. As soon as I was at the baggage claim, they were complaining about where the
what else has changed? What else has changed is that it's not the same. You remember the money game where you don't want to go to the bank to exchange money. Oh yeah. You gotta go find somebody. Yeah. That game has really kind of gone away now.
Really?
Everything is now like kind of like what we have here, Zelle. They have things like, they have like Tap Tap, and they have some of these other ones where you go, how much is this? And you just do the little Zelle thing, the Tap Tap.
And it just converts it?
And it just sends the money. So you don't see a lot of cash being used that way. So you go to the marketplace and you're now just exchanging everything electronically.
So they have a thing electronically. That's kind of good. No,
yeah, it is because
cool. Because you don't want to be carrying naira with you.
I mean, $100, so $1 is 1,400 nairas, right? So you to get $100, that's
1,400 naira.
1,400, so it's 140,000 naira is $100.
And you got to carry. It's like carrying a stack of newspapers. It's like
it's a lot. It's
too much. It's like a big fat roll.
Yeah, but I will tell you though too, and this was something that, when you talk about some of the differences that my kids saw, and I wanted to make sure, and not in an arrogant way or anything like that, but the people who took care of us, and realizing that just how far, $100 goes in Nigeria versus here in the States.
Yeah.
When you look at, you look at the average person, making somewhere between $2,400 and less a year, and you go, whoa, so tipping somebody $20, $100 changes a lot for them in that space. Sure, you know what I mean? And,
sure does.
But this is why we're talking about why I think it's important for theirs to be more, because that standard of living, it is low. It is very, very low. And there are things and resources that can be capitalized that the government can utilize its people, because it's a lot of people in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You've got some of the smartest people in the world. You've got some of the hardest working people in the world. You've got some of the most artistic people in the world. And so utilizing that to be able to change that number shouldn't be that number, right?
No, it should not. It should not be that number. And like I said, you feel so helpless. You feel so helpless. And I'm just talking.
Because one person can't change it.
I'm talking. And people are like, you don't know nothing about it. I'm just talking because it's coming from feeling bad,
right,
and wanting things to be better. I want things.
How do you make it?
And all I can do is use our platform, our experiences, and our connections with people. And that's all we can do. And represent Nigeria in a dope way, period. Like a lot of Nigerians are. We're from London, from Asia, where Nigerians are everywhere. And I think we're doing a good job, other than the South African thing that's happening, where they're kicking Nigerians out that are doing I guess there's this big thing where they're literally beating up migrants from different African countries in South Africa. They're like, they're kicking them out of hospitals. I think, I don't want to make it look like it's all of South Africa, but they say there's some Nigerian migrants that they're doing like illegal stuff in South Africa. So they're having these mobs attacking and beating up Nigerians. I didn't say it's in every part of South Africa, but
so come after him.
I've seen footage, of it. And they're just like, this guy in a hospital is like, are you South African? Get out of the hospital. Go somewhere else. Yeah. Kicking like non-South Africans. And I'm like, why don't you have that same energy for all the white people running half your, you're owned by 80% Europeans. And you're getting mad at African migrants? I don't get it. Keep that same energy for the white ones, the white South Africans. But like I said, I'm not saying it's all of South. I just seen footage of like Nigerians getting like kicked out of places, but I guess they're there illegally. I guess they didn't do the right process. I get that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but Nigerians I have hope for Nigeria. I really do.
It's so much so that I'm going back. Like so much so.
Yeah, me too, man. Oh, definitely.
I can't wait for us to be able to take 154.
Hell yeah, we gotta go.
Like my uncle who traveled with me, he's a good family friend, and he has this, massive thing going on in Nigeria called Afrotrade. It's gonna be happening in June. What's up, guys? I'm here at Afrotrade's headquarters right here in Lagos, Nigeria. You can see the sign back here. It's pretty cool. What I love about Afrotrade is right now, they are literally bridging continents and empowering the continent. And it's such a special place when you get to see kind of the inner workings and meet the people who genuinely care about Africa, changing the way we view Africa throughout the world. I think everybody knows, when they hear Africa, there's been this perception, but the reality is that this is a powerhouse, and Afrotrade is making it happen. And, his dream is to be able to connect all of the different tradespeople. So you know how you can go on Yelp and you can find this person, or you go on this list and you can find all the different. So if you're looking for a seamstress, if you're looking for,
it's like a Craigslist of Nigeria or something like that.
It's not a
Craigslist. Or rabbit. What's the rabbit thing?
I don't know the rabbit thing, but it's where you can.
Task Rabbit?
No, it's not like Task Rabbit. Okay. Mostly like it's being able to connect all the inner trade people together. All these people will be verified, right? And you can then say, hey, because one of the hardest things is to be able to find each other. How do we find each other? How do we connect to say who's the legitimate one and who's
not, with critiques, stars,
so all of that stuff. So he's got this big conference, and so 154, I've sponsored 154, so for us to be able to have a booth there, to be able to kind of heighten our visibility there. But the fact that so many people receive 154 and it's starting to slowly but surely kind of spread throughout was really cool. And the way he's supporting that and where that energy going back and forth. But, it's one of those things I think is needed, and just sitting and talking with him for that entire trip and understanding that Afrotrade is trying to and looking to change the way the Nigerian people utilize their talents around and how you can source the talent. And this is really kind of cheating the model from what China has done. China's done an amazing job. If you look at most of the stuff, I bet you if we look at all the items in this entire China here, I'm going to say more than half of it has come from China. And do you know what that does to the economy there? Yeah. Right? And how much of that is flowing through and how much stuff is being shipped? Well, we have that same horsepower
and potential.
It's just not, and we don't know how to find it. And that's what they're trying to create.
Well, Xi Jinping, president of China, is part of funding a lot of this stuff. Who's proud of funding a lot of this stuff. He takes pride in Chinese infrastructure. He takes pride in the arts and all that. You need a good leader, man. Yeah. It helps. You need a good leader, like a quarterback. Good quarterback wins games. Yeah. You need that. He takes pride in that, man.
But they're not happy.
I'm not saying he's perfect.
He's not perfect.
There's a lot of they're doing. You're like, military wise, everything. It's a leader. I don't know who's above Xi Jinping. I don't know. I just know he's the face. But I just really think it's leadership, man. I just really believe that. It's like a household. Right. Leadership is the parents, man.
But sometimes you can't wait. Like, and I think this is what what my uncle's trying to do is like I can't wait for, the government to.
That's what I'm saying. That's why there's subcultures, people doing it under that.
And you said that, say, hey, we gotta go out there and be able to create this.
Just do it.
And if you create it, everybody else will come. And that's where when I started to see, like, having my feet on the ground and being able to see, going up to the Afrotrade, and going up to their offices and seeing, like, I even saw where the Queen of England used to, when they came, like, they would come to Lagos and they built this whole house and like, oh, this is where the Queen used to live. And they have all these different, during the colonial time. And they still talk about, hey, the
horrible time.
During the colonial masters, they reference, that was always weird for me. The colonial masters. I was like, stop saying
colonial masters.
But you can still see the footprint in which has created, the Nigeria that we see today,
Oh, yeah. I mean, Lagos was named from the woman, that European lady that named Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh, I didn't know.
You didn't know that? Yeah, there was a woman she named it Nigeria, the Niger area. It's like Africa is named after Africanus, Leonidas Africanus, a Roman emperor. But the real name for Africa is Ekebulon.
Yeah. Yeah, people have gone back and forth on that.
It's facts.
Yeah.
Africanus is the guy. He was a Roman.
I know about that part.
Yeah. So
it's kind of interesting that I'm actually situated in the two places. My Nigerian heritage and America, where I live. It's a cultural experience for my kids who've only lived in America, and for them to finally step on the land that my father, my mother, where they grew up, where their life started, where they dreamt to come to America and start a different life. It's kind of full circle moments. Day one. After recharging our batteries at the hotel, we stopped by to pick up my dad's brother, Uncle Mufutau, and rolled out. It's got a special day today because we're getting ready to go to my father's house. 20 years ago, I had a chance to visit my father's birthplace, where he grew up in Abuja Meta. And so the fact that my kids get a chance to see this, kind of their origin, their grandfather's origin, is pretty cool. So I can't wait for them. We're ready to hit the town. We navigated the bustling streets of Abuja Meta to see the historic Bajabia Miller House, a beautiful multi-generational family landmark steeped in deep history and heritage. We had to say our goodbyes and chase the vibe to our next stop, the legendary Nikkei Art Gallery in Lekki, packed wall to wall with the most stunning art I've ever laid eyes on. With all the money spent there, we had to pack it up and take it back to base camp. Day two, time to swap locations and make our way from Lagos to Ogun State. We made it to the presidential library now, and now we're getting ready to meet a legend, soccer legend, Segun. You can just say Segun and everybody will know who you're talking about. In fact, he's coming up right now. Oh man. Oga. I'm doing good. Let me tell you something. You are an absolute legend. I mean, I was a young kid. I was born in '79, so.
I was born in '77.
After linking up with the legendary Segun Odegbami, we hopped in a van and headed straight out to historic Olumo Rock. We definitely weren't expecting the massive hike, but man, the view from the top was absolutely worth the sweat. We made it all the way up to Olumo Rock. You can see I'm sweating, we're all sweating. It's cool to hear the history too. Abelkuta means under the rock, and to hear the history of that, and to know that we came from under the rock, and we've been able to spread all throughout into different places. It's pretty special. Day three. After a couple of high-octane days, we desperately needed a breather. We started the morning right at XO Boutique Bakery for a killer breakfast. Then swung by Lakon Salam's office to talk shop about his game-changing trading platform, Afrotrade. Next up on the agenda, time to go shopping. And so today what we have is shopping. So we're gonna go do a nice little breakfast spot that one of my brothers, his friends own this bakery. So we're getting out the hotel, not doing hotel breakfast today. And then we've got shopping. We're gonna take the kids to do some nice shopping. We got a nice lunch over at Nock by Alara. So that's gonna be fun. Let's go. Day 4, we caught a quick flight to Abuja, hopped in a van, and went straight to the most beautiful coffee shop on the planet, My Shai. No exaggeration, this place serves hands down the best coffee on the planet. From there, we cruised over to Cilantro Park, a botanical garden right in the heart of Abuja. We explored the lush grounds and even crossed paths with some local animals. The vibes here was pure relaxation. Next, we brought authentic Nigerian food to the hotel, and let me tell you, they brought the heat. That kalishi had me sweating bullets, but I couldn't stop eating it. We're going to the farmer's market, and I've not yet had a chance to actually barter and kind of go back and forth a little bit, so we're gonna do that. They may try to mark up the price on me because they go, these ones from America, double the price. I don't play, I don't play. We wrapped up at the farmer's market and headed out for a special dinner with my cousin, Uncle Femi Bajabiamila and Auntie Sal Bajabiamila. The Honorable Femi Bajabiamila serves as the Chief of Staff to the President of Nigeria. On the last day in Nigeria, got a chance to stop by a local podcast and talk a little bit about 154 and Afrotrade. This trip was unforgettable. I can promise you this, it won't take me 20 years to come back. Baja House. Well, that's a wrap on Nigeria.
We take a photo there.
Bye.
You didn't say that.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154, we bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like, ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like, ain't no place.